And now, your all-star loan lineup from Grove Financial. Leading off, vehicle loans. Batting second, Grove Visa credit cards. Third, Grove student loans. And batting cleanup, the big guy, home loans. Holy cow! It's a grand slam from Grove Financial. Just look at those low rates. Apply today at grovefinancial.org. Grove Financial Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration and an equal housing lender.
Hey Tampa Bay, this is S.C. Day, your host of the Legally Steel Show, Tampa Bay's newest and hottest consumer talk radio show. Tune in to us weekly, Saturdays at 3 p.m., where we're going to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet. We'll discuss issues like taxes, finances, home loans, and my favorite, vehicles. Tune in Saturdays, 3 p.m. We'll make sure you get the information you need to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet.
It's time for Legally Steel with your host, S.E. Day.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's another Saturday. Beautiful day here in Tampa, Florida. And, of course, most of us know what today is. Today is Bank Transfer Day. And it's a hot movement. I tell you, I don't know if you've been listening to the news or on the web, but it is one of the hottest moving things out there right now, and a lot of people don't associate it with the Occupy Wall Street. However, the power of the voice and the power of the people will be heard. And most of you who are listening to me know that I'm a credit union advocate. I've been talking about credit unions and joining a credit union for the longest time, and now it's just that everything is happening so fast right now in the credit union movement, and it's really taking the people within the credit union movement by storm. But it's happening. It's happening, and it's not going to slow down. And what the banks have to realize is that you can't just, throw your rock and turn your head. A lot of banks, all of the banks, not a lot of them, all of them have retreated on their whole debit card fees. But most people think that it's too little, too late. And I myself believe that, and I can tell you, this is just putting fuel in my fire, for me to push harder and harder and harder. And later on in the show, I'm going to tell you what I plan on doing about it. So, of course, I always have some bright ideas, and I'm going to go forward with making things happen. We have a very special guest coming on today, and it's someone that's at the top of the heap, if you will, in the whole credit union movement, in the purely the design and layout of the credit unions, and his name is Mr. Sean Gilfitter, and we'll have him on about 16 past the hour as we talk about the credit union movement, and we talk about Bank Transfer Day and a surprise that I have for you of what I plan on doing to push it forward. So definitely stay tuned for after the break. Really good information for you. A lot of laid out stuff. I've done a lot of research on this. You know me. I'm not going to bring you issues unless I've researched them, because I bring you issues that matter most to your wallet. This week, I don't know if you have known, I will actually have a video up on the web after the show, after I get everything edited and podcast, and then we'll have it up on the show. But those of you who will actually go to the video, right now, what I'm holding up, you can't see it now. It's being actually recorded now live with the show, but I'm going to put it up. I'm going to post it later. But I'm holding up a magazine with my face all over the cover. I think it's hot stuff. Of course, it's my face on the cover, so why wouldn't I think it's hot stuff? But I've been recognized as Tampa's newest and most engaging consumer advocate. Now, what does all that mean? That means that others are looking and others are listening, and the word is getting out that SE is true to his word. And SE is going to continue to bring you that word because I believe in it. I believe in bringing issues that matter most to your wallet. I'm going to dig deeper, And one of my goals is to actually turn, I don't want to really go into investigative journalism. However, I am going to investigate issues and be a forward thinker to bring you issues that matter. Why? It's very important, especially in today's climate, in today's economy. We have to look out for each other because the big boys aren't. Truly, I believe that there's a disconnect from the multimillionaires or millionaires to the everyday person, to the middle class income earners. There's a disconnect. And it was very evident when the bank decided to, say we're going to get money, we have to make a profit, and no one says we can't make a profit. And I agree. I am a capitalist. I believe in making money. But I don't believe in making money at the expense of hurting others. I believe that you can make money and we can do it together. Everybody who's a member of a customer of a bank knows that banks make money. Everybody that goes to Macy's or go to Walmart, they know that these businesses are in business to make money. But when you blatantly stand in front of a camera and say, it's our right to make money, no, it's not your right. It's more of a privilege that your consumers are allowing you to make money. So I'm going to dig deeper and continue to pushing forward in my effort in making things relevant to you and coming, things that are going to come your way just because I believe in what I'm doing. So this recognition in the magazine was really a cool thing. I wasn't expecting it. I was told I was going to be on the cover, but I didn't realize it was going to be this cover. I actually met with the publisher, and he told me that out of all of the magazine covers that he's done, that they've actually produced, that this is the best cover by far that they've laid out for their magazine. So you can actually go to our website, LegallySteelShow.com, and you'll see an icon there for the magazine. You click on it, it'll take you directly to their website, and you can actually read the article. It's a real nice 2-page article on the inside of the magazine that's laid out. Okay, enough of singing my praises. Yeah, I do that enough. Listen, the phone lines are open. Give us a call here at the show, 347-637-1008. That's 347-637-1008. And, of course, our chat line is open. And I look forward to having an exciting show. I just want to give you I have one more update, and then and then we'll go into the break, and then we'll bring back our guests. But like I said, the phone line's open, 347-637-1008, and the chat line is open, so you can always hit us up there. You have a question, post it to us, and if you decide to, you're a little bashful about coming on the air, you can always send us one on the email. And that's at the show, THESHOW, the show at LegallySteel.com, the show at LegallySteel.com. But we definitely want to hear from you today to talk about bank transfer. Our message today is what's behind the retreat. What's behind the retreat? Oh, the other thing I want to bring to you, and then I'm done. I'm truly done singing my praises. But I will be talking this week with Major Credit Union about becoming the spokesperson. Now, that's really cool. I think it's a really cool honor that they would actually want to talk with me about being the spokesperson for the credit union. And most of you know, who've been listening to me faithfully for the last year and a half, my goal is to be on the face of the NCUA website. I mean, I saw Susie Orman's face there. Okay. I'm not kicking Susie Orman. I think she is great at what she does, but I don't think the loyalty is there as far as the whole credit union movement, understanding the movement, driving forward with the movement, and making people aware. We're going to be talking about Bank Transfer Day even more, but you have to understand, I've been talking about Bank Transfer Day before it was popular, and I'm going to talk about Bank Transfer Day after it's no longer popular. After today is over with, everybody's going to go back to the way they were. The hype will be over. The news will jump on to something else, but not me. Not me. I'm actually going to push this thing, and this was the other surprise. I'm going to push this thing into Bank Transfer Awareness Month. That's my goal. So every year we're going to be recognizing it in conjunction with Bank Transfer Day, but Bank Transfer Awareness Month. Why? Because we are the people, we have the power, and we don't have to stand for what has been happening. I mean, a lot of people are really pissed off about this, and honestly, rightfully so. It's your money. The banks were bailed out, and then you're going to slap us in our face? You're going to slap us in our face and say, hey, sorry, but, we're going to pay that money back because we made a ton of money, and that's a whole nother show that people don't understand. We'll talk about that later, of how money is made. But we're going to take that money, and now we're going to slap you with a fee because if the bank, if the government is going to regulate what we do, then we're going to have to make sure we can get our money back. So after the break, we're going to be bringing on Mr. Sean Gilfetter. Mr. Sean Gilfetter, he is the chairman of the New Jersey Credit Union League and also the CEO of McGraw-Hill Federal Credit Union there in New Jersey. And we're going to bring him on and look forward to taking your questions and talking with us. We're going to go to the break, but remember the phone lines are open, 347-637-1008, 347-637-1008, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Hey, this is S.E. Day, your host of the Legally Steel Show. The other day I stopped into one of the branches of Grow Financial Federal Credit Union, and they're doing something awesome. They have a big promotion where they're going to be giving away my best-selling book, The Negotiating Experience, Your Car Deal Your Way, to anyone who has opened an account with Grow. If you listen to me, you know that I'm an advocate for credit unions, so make sure you call them, get you a copy of the book. Give me a call at the station here at the Tan Talk Network, and I'll make sure I get it autographed for you. Only on the Legally Steel Show, where we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet, and with Grow Financial.
Buying a home is a lot like playing baseball. You think you've got it all figured out. Then here comes a changeup.
Strike one.
It's easy to get frustrated.
Strike two.
That's why you need a coach who knows the game.
Okay, here we go.
And can guide you around the bases. Talk to a Grow Financial mortgage loan consultant. We'll get you home.
Hey!
Learn more at growfinancial.org. Grow Financial is an equal housing lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration.
That's right. I'm back. Okay, listen. With the whole push on Bank Transfer Day, and this is something that has been going on and started back in September. Now, the numbers have really been amazing with the transfer, the number of people. Just yesterday on ABC, it was announced that over 1 million customers, over 1 million customers, as of yesterday, had decided to walk away from the bank and open their business or start a new checking account with smaller banks and credit unions. And out of that, Mr. Bill Cheney, who's head of the CUNA National Association, said that basically about 650,000 customers from the big banks have joined credit unions. In 1 month now, 650,000. That was more than everybody, all of the people last year of 2010 that joined credit unions, which was about 600,000. In 1 month, 650,000 people have joined credit unions. That's amazing. That's amazing. But the question is, what's behind the retreat of the banks? Listen, I'd like to thank you again for listening in, but I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Sean Gilfetter. Sean, how are you doing today?
Hey, Essie, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful and glad you decided to share some expertise with us on this Saturday afternoon.
Well, it's been a fun time for credit unions over the past few days, and I think we can recognize Bank Transfer Day is it's just really about consumer awareness and being better informed as a consumer.
Absolutely.
So we've had a good time. I mean, it's been very interesting here in New Jersey. We've seen the traffic grow about tenfold, and when I say tenfold, the traffic on findacreditunion.com. It's a great website that credit unions can go to and learn more about, how they can join a credit union and what credit unions are available in their local geography.
Okay.
And with that in mind, it's really been interesting from that perspective. We track the number of clicks, that people going out onto the website and searching for credit unions here in New Jersey. And beginning of the month when Bank Transfer Day started, that's really when we saw a huge increase in interest from consumers here in New Jersey. And I think as the day goes on here, there will be more and more stories, as you mentioned. Over a million consumers looking to change their accounts. So it'll be very interesting, for us to see, what the reaction's been of many of the new members coming into to our institutions.
Well, Sean, the part of my concern is this. We know the media drives a lot of things that happens in the world today, okay? So we see the movement, we see the media on fire and talking about this because it's a hot story. But my concern is what happens on Monday morning when the media hype isn't there anymore. What happens then? Where do we go from there? Because this is a hot issue that I think it needs to keep going. And just to point out, Mr. Cheney pointed out that roughly about 91 million Americans, and see that number has dropped, but 91 million Americans are a member of credit unions, and they're controlling assets of less than $1 trillion. I'm not going to be happy until there are just as many customers, members of credit unions, as there are customers of banks. So where do we go come Monday morning?
Well, what's interesting is Bank Transfer Day was not started by a credit union.
Exactly.
It was started by a consumer out in California who was, appalled at the fees that she was being charged to maintain an account that she had with her financial institution.
Okay.
And really, that in and of itself, I don't think goes away come Monday.
Right.
I think the consumer is more aware. There are more opportunities for them to be aware. But let's face it, Essie. I mean, for up until the recession, there was a lot of apathy around the fees that were being charged. People confused those fees with having convenience, and the reality is that there are many institutions that provide a low fee environment, that provide tremendous amounts of convenience. And Bank Transfer Day, the movement itself is really about consumer awareness and about finding an institution that best fits your needs as a consumer. And I think most people today will recognize that paying $15, $20, $30 a month in maintenance fees just to have an account, it promotes a negative return. You never have, even if it's an interest-bearing account, you never break through without having, large excessive balances within that account. So I think the consumer on Monday is going to be better informed and more aware of what their options are.
Well, I can tell you, here at the Legally Steel Show, you can bet your money. You can bet your money that come Monday morning, I'll be doing a couple of op-ed pieces and really pushing Bank Awareness Month, Bank Transfer Awareness Month. You can bet your money. So you guys, truly, you have an advocate here, and I'm going to keep pushing throughout the year because I want people to become aware. See, one thing is the credit unions really hadn't gotten this kind of exposure on a positive side since 1998, really, the way I see it, when Bill Clinton signed into law the whole basically Credit Union Act, where, and I'm sure you remember this, of when banks were pretty much trying to limit how many consumers could join credit unions.
It's been what's been difficult for credit unions is and we've been challenged by one word. It's awareness.
Yep.
Awareness, and when what you had mentioned about credit unions, having less than $1 trillion of deposits, it represents about 6% of the deposit base on a national level. which, when you think about it, 1 in 3 people have access to a credit union, but only 6% of the deposits are actually with a credit union.
Right.
Part of that is the advertising dollars. A lot of the consumer awareness pieces. I just watched a piece on from Good Morning America on ABC News, and the advertisement that came up before the piece about bank transfer day and about being aware about the fees that you're being charged as a consumer.
Mm-hmm.
There's an advertisement from Citibank, and I think that kind
right.
of sums it up. These types of efforts from the consumer perspective, within social media and how viral social media can get, I think credit unions have to get smarter about how to utilize those channels and really consistently share the message of what it means to be part of a financial cooperative and what are the benefits of belonging to a credit union, and the fact that credit unions, I'll just speak for my own institution.
Mm-hmm.
We use Intuit Financial Services for our online banking engine. It's
right.
really the same banking engine that many of the large money center banks use to service their customers.
Right.
So when it comes down to convenience, that technology-wise, we have remote deposit capture. You can scan checks from your desktop. We make funds available because we know our members at the end of the day, and we develop the relationship with them that is so predominantly lacking in many institutions these days.
Right.
So I think a lot of the fallacies that are out there about credit unions not being technology advanced or not offering convenience, I think a smart consumer can go and find the right institution to be able to service their needs, and quite honestly do better financially overall. And when they need that relationship, and this is what we always tell our members,
mm-hmm.
that is the time. As your life goes through transition, maybe you're transitioning employment or having other financial pressures. That's really when you want to have a relationship with a single financial institution. And
Absolutely.
That's when it's so important.
Well, Sean, speaking of smart consumers, I have a smart consumer on the line from your state.
Oh, great.
Vivian, how are you doing today?
Hi, Essie. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We have on the line with us Mr. Sean Gilfetter. He is the chairman of the New Jersey Credit Union League and the CEO of McGraw-Hill Federal Credit Union there in New Jersey, in your state. What's your question today, Vivian?
Well, first of all, hello, Sean. How are you doing?
Hi, Vivian. How are you?
Good. I had to call in, and I'm happy that you're having this topic came up because between my husband and I, we have about 6 bank accounts because we each own our own companies. In addition to our checking and savings accounts, we have our business accounts, and they're all with TD. And we were sitting down to read the paper 2 days ago, and we were completely shocked. We looked at each other dumbfounded. We couldn't believe it. $9 each transaction fee. It's not happening in my household because we do transfers and withdrawals constantly. I check my bank accounts online daily, and I make a lot of different online payments. I think I have about 20 or 25 different bills I can pay online that I have set up already. And so when I saw that, I am not wasting, let's see, 9. If I only did, because it says over 6 transactions, and I do at least 15 to 20 transactions a month, at least. There's no way you're penalizing me $100 a month at least to do business with you. $9, the way I look at that, I clip coupons for a reason. I try to be an intelligent business owner in addition to being just a regular consumer, but the way I look at $9, that's like 2.5 gallons of gas that I'm giving up, and per transaction, that's not happening. What I'm doing this month on my to-do list, and actually this week, is to find a credit union to belong to because I'm not putting up with that from TD. Absolutely not.
Okay, Sean, hold up. Before you go there, before you even approach that subject, did you say 2.5 gallons of gas there, Vivian?
Well, I'm sorry, but the way I look at it, I clip coupons for a reason. I just did a big shopping to stock up after I had to throw all my food out from not having power in New Jersey
right.
for 5 days. and basically I saved $35 in coupons. And the way I look at it is it's $3.30 a gallon of gas. So I look at that $9, and automatically my brain says to me, well, $3.30 into $9 is about 2.5 gallons of gas. My minivan gets about $20 to the gallon. So you're telling me you're going to penalize me driving 50 miles to give you $9 per transaction? Not my life.
Vivian, I'm not laughing, but Sean, please address that.
Vivian, I think it's great that you make that correlation, because I think that's what helps people, move their accounts at the end of the day, or become more aware as a consumer. As you make that relationship, you're also you're investing in that financial institution. With your money as well as with your time and the relationship that you've developed over the years, and it sounds like you have several accounts.
Yeah.
And this is the opportunity, when you take this step back and you say, you know what, if it takes about an hour of your time to move your accounts or to do some research, equate the value of that hour of your time, and I bet you within a year's time, you'll be able to recapture the cost of that hour by finding an institution that can better serve your needs. So,
Sean, the way I look at it, it's just a lot more than that. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, I had a very negative experience with TD, and only a couple months ago, the branch manager treated me very poorly in a situation, and this just puts me over the top. I just didn't find the time, because I'm like, all right, well, maybe she just had a bad day. Anybody can. But you know what? When the branch manager of a bank can't treat a long-time customer with respect and push aside whatever personal issues they had that day, that was very bothersome. And she's known me for years. She could have called up and apologized and chose not to. And now this $9 per transaction fee completely tips me over. Between my husband and I and all our transactions, we deposit well over $250,000 in all our accounts per year.
Wow.
So that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. When I saw that literally 2 days ago in the I think it was the Bergen Record, because we were visiting family, because, well, we'd had no power this week.
Right.
That's just, I'm sorry, but $9 per fee each time, when I know I make well over 10 transactions more than their 6 allotted, and it even says it's for bank payments, when you do your online bill pay. That's how I pay all my bills. Isn't that supposed to be a convenience instead of penalizing you for using what they set up as a convenience? That's completely apprehensible. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm not going to tolerate it. Simple.
Vivian, if I can give you some examples, we always like to say to our membership, the Jimmy Stewart experience of banking still exists with credit unions. Knowing our members at the end of the day, because we are a financial cooperative. We're owned by the individuals that decide to deposit their balances with us. So we look at the individual differently than maybe a for-profit institution. And if you took TD Bank out of the equation, the real difference for us as a credit union is the fact that we're going to perform in a way that's best for you as an individual. It may not always be the most profitable, and we don't pay commissions for people turning on or off accounts that you may find in a for-profit environment. What we do focus on is how well we serve our membership, and that is inherently the difference between us as a mission-driven organization and a for-profit organization, where within the cooperative you have a voice.
Right.
Our members can reach out to myself as CEO of McGraw-Hill Federal Credit Union. They can pose their questions. We look for their commentary on our Facebook page. There are a multitude of opportunities that are transparent, and just as you talked about, the fine print of transactions, $9 for any transactions over the 6 minimum. That type of information is well communicated to the members. When you open up an account with a credit union, it's only because we want our members to be informed and educated, and financial literacy and financial education is really at the core of our mission as an organization.
Sean,
so I think if you found a credit union out there, I think you would be well served.
Well, let me tell you this. The reason it's so important, what I do in my personal life, including my business accounts, is because I sit in people's homes for a living. I'm a mortgage modification specialist, and I help people with that, and I also do a lot of public speaking. So a lot of people seek out my advice. And I also wrote a book that helps people financially. So what I do, I always carry through to the people I interact with, and that's why it's so important for me to make the right decisions so I could lead by example when I help others when they come up to me and ask me for financial advice.
Absolutely. Listen, Sean, Vivian, listen, I thank you for calling. Sean, I hope you will hold on. I have to go to a break, but I want to talk about the bank business model when we come back. All right?
Thank you, gentlemen. Take care.
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you.
And now, your all-star loan lineup from Grove Financial. Leading off, vehicle loans. Batting second, Grove Visa credit card. Third, Grove student loans. And batting cleanup, the big guy, home loans. Holy cow! It's a grand slam from Grove Financial. Just look at those low rates. Apply today at grovefinancial.org. Grove Financial Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration and an equal housing lender.
Hey, Tampa Bay, this is S.E. Day, your host of the Legally Steel Show, Tampa Bay's newest and hottest consumer talk radio show. Tune in to us weekly, Saturdays at 3 p.m., where we're going to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet. We'll discuss issues like taxes, finances, home loans, and my favorite, vehicles. Tune in Saturdays, 3 p.m. We'll make sure you get the information you need to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet. Hey, this is S.E. Day, your host of the Legally Steel Show. The other day I stopped into one of the branches of Grove Financial Federal Credit Union, and they're doing something awesome. They have a big promotion where they're going to be giving away my best-selling book, The Negotiating Experience, Your Car Deal Your Way, to anyone who has opened an account with Grove. If you listen to me, you know that I'm an advocate for credit unions, so make sure you call them, get your copy of the book. Give me a call at the station here at the Tan Talk Network, and I'll make sure I get it autographed for you. Only on the Legally Steel Show, where we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet, and with Grove Financial.
All right, we're back. John, I want people to understand something. You and I had a brief conversation the other day, and we talked about the bank's business model and how it's structured and how it's set up. And I think this is something that every listener needs to know, which is the whole gist of the show. What's behind the retreat and what happens tomorrow? Now, if you would elaborate a little bit about the fee collection process that the Big Six or most of the banks have, most of their business models stand for, if you don't mind.
Well, they have, to be able to provide the level of physical convenience out in the marketplace, they really, driving fee revenue is pays for most of what you see out on the street corner today. So, Bank of America generates about a little less than a third of their income comes from fees. And now, I'm sure a fair portion of that comes from their association with Merrill Lynch and some of the other services that they have.
Right.
The reality is that fees have become a large portion of their business, and with reform and interchange revenue from the Durbin Amendment and changes around the Dodd-Frank Act, there's less fee income for them to generate. So that's why they talked about over the past 2 weeks cutting 750 branches, which is almost about a little over 20% of their physical branch locations, and cutting about 30,000 jobs.
Yeah.
So their business model needs to become more efficient, and in order for them to be able to provide services to consumers. And I think what you're seeing right now is that they have to change their business model, and there's not enough time for them to do that. The other side of the equation is that financial institutions make money on the spread. So when you have a 10-year Treasury rate paying less than 2% out in the marketplace, it's a difficult environment even for credit unions to generate income.
Right,
but
exactly.
With lower overhead expenses and quite honestly, credit unions not having the infrastructure that's out in the marketplace with large money center banks, what most credit unions do today is they participate in the share branching cooperative. So that allows us to offer out about 4,000 branch locations across the United States.
Right.
They don't all have my name on those branches, but it allows me to efficiently service people physically in various branch locations. So even though we're headquartered in New Jersey, we can do transactions out in Louisiana and California.
Sean, I want to stop you there because I think that's part of the misnomer about credit unions. Most people feel that, well, my credit union is just in Dover, New Jersey, or my credit union is just in Tampa, Florida. So if I join the credit union, what else can I do? I mean, if I go out of state, how can I transact? And they are unaware of the relationship along that network that credit unions have.
They are, and it's a rather broad network. There are the cooperative ATM network offers 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So when people are talking about fees, there are fee-saving opportunities, within the credit union industry that are really a great opportunity for consumers to explore.
I agree. Now, the thing which leads to the next point of contention that I have, what happens tomorrow? And this is the thing that I want the listeners to understand. Even though bank transfer day is today and the big hoopla is right now, you must understand that the bank's business model is designed on fee collection. A big portion of that, over a third of that, is designed on fee collection. So what you're going to see later on is they may have retreated on the debit card fees, but pay attention to your checking account fees. Pay attention to your overdraft fees. Things are going to go up because they have to collect fees and revenues to stay in business. This is the business model that they've set up. So I want you to focus on a credit union. Sean, give out that credit union site again, and also tell us about McGraw-Hill, if you will.
Sure. There's two sites consumers should be aware of when they're thinking about a credit union. The first is a smarterchoice.org. Smarterchoice.org is a general website that helps the consumer understand what a credit union is. It highlights some of the advantages that credit unions offer out in the marketplace. And then there's also a link on that site to findacreditunion.org.
Okay.
Findacreditunion.org allows you to search an institution, from a geographic perspective. So you can type in your zip code and then search for institutions that are, within a certain, distance from your home or from your work location. And it's probably the easiest way to find an institution.
Okay.
But I think more so as you go through that process, you really have to look and see, just like Vivian had spoke about, business accounts. Well, not every credit union offers business accounts. So she may be looking for a community-based credit union as opposed to a seg-based organization.
Right. Now, Sean, explain that. When you say seg-based, explain that so people can understand.
Sure. A seg-based organization is an employer group-based organization. So, if we were to give you a kind of an analogy, the community is kind of the horizontal, right? The outreach of an organization within a county. So if you live, work, or worship within a community base, you can then belong to that institution.
Okay.
A seg-based organization is really based on your employer. So if your employer, in our case, we are a multi-seg organization, so we service McGraw-Hill companies as well as about 120 other companies throughout the United States. So we operate more in the vertical of those organizations. So our community is the employees of those organizations. So any employee and their family members can belong to the cooperative.
Okay. Now, Sean, you have led an initiative in rebranding and launching an aggressive growth plan that couples with sound financial principles and forward thinking in reference to financial literacy when it comes to credit unions. Correct?
That's correct. And over the past year, we've been working with the New Jersey Department of Education on our financial literacy and financial education efforts.
Right.
The state has instituted a new standard for students, and we've been working with the Department of Ed and the Coalition for Financial Education to just help consumers be more aware. So that's really been our investment in our community itself, and quite honestly, it was easy for us because that's where our mission is helping educate our members and getting them the right financial products as we go through that education process.
Right. Now, Sean, I have a very important question for you. In the layout of the way the credit unions are designed today and the member structures that they have, what are you doing in New Jersey, per se, that other credit unions can somewhat learn from as far as capturing a different market seg? Say, for instance, a market segment of 18 to 40-year-olds. What are you doing aggressively to attract that market? Because, quite frankly, that market is the market that's, I'm about internet. I'm not about walking into a branch. It's not, understand it was my dad or my mom's credit union, but that's not what I'm about. I'm not about going into the bank. I want to do it over my smartphone. I want to do it from my computer. What are you doing by way of attracting that market base?
Well, I think there's two things. One is through the New Jersey Credit Union League and SE. This kind of goes along with what you've talked about earlier today. Is the continuum of the effort. The New Jersey Credit Union League has launched a marketing awareness campaign called Banking You Can Trust.
Okay.
And we'd really like to see more credit unions kind of participate with that message out in the marketplace, because just like Bank Transfer Day has created its own allure.
Right.
We recognize that the message for the cooperative movement of the credit union industry needs to be consistent. And Banking You Can Trust is the marketing tagline that we've trademarked in New Jersey. And quite honestly, we think over the next few months there's going to be other states that will be picking up on that as well. So just getting that consistent message of awareness out in the market is important at the consumer level.
Exactly.
Internally, for our organization, dealing with the younger demographic, is you really have to focus in on what the needs are of those individuals and how they want to interact. So if it's social media, if it's having access through mobile banking, you need to have the tools as an organization in order to attract those individuals. So getting them early, teaching them about, what it means to be a good consumer, entering the world of credit. Let's face it, most people don't roll out of college and start saving right away, right?
No.
They enter the world of credit first. So,
right.
So, giving them the tools that they need in order to be successful up front is really important. So that's where we're focused right now, is making sure that they have the resources that they want when they want them, and then also the education in order to be a successful consumer as they enter the world of credit and savings.
Well, I tell you, Sean, my mission is 8 to 80. Okay, I'm going to be pushing that message from 8-year-olds to 80-year-olds that they need to be members of credit unions. Start early, become lifelong members of the credit union, and share the movement with your friends and families, because that's how we're going to grow. I agree. Bank Transfer Day was a good start. It has its own allure, like you said. But what we have to do as members of the credit union, as officials of the credit unions, and advocates of the credit union, is have to keep pushing that message out to everybody we know. We know that word-of-mouth advertisement is the most powerful form of advertisement. Well, I say that we all continue to do the same thing. I am definitely going to do my part as a consumer advocate through the power of voice, through the power of radio, in pushing the message and keeping people more informed. And I know and I see, based on what we're talking about, you're doing the same thing there in New Jersey. So you have a friend in the credit union movement here, Sean.
Well, it's nice to know, and I think, you know, we always welcome new members because we know it's an enlightening experience when they decide to join a credit union. So be happy to have a friend down in Florida.
Oh, not a problem, not a problem. And, of course, we got a couple of questions in on the chat line, and you got some angry people out there. I mean, some people are like, when a consumer is going to wake up and realize banks are not your friend. They're only about making money. And a lot of quotes that are coming in on the chat line of how people are really concerned about what's going on in their lives today. So Sean, I appreciate you coming on, and as we continue to push this message, and as I start Monday morning pushing the, Bank Transfer Awareness Month, I'm going to make it an issue. I promise you will hear it again. But Bank Transfer Awareness Month is what I'm going to be pushing for the entire month of November and every year thereafter.
Well, that's great. And we'll be happy to participate.
Good. Sean, listen, if you would just give us, information of how people can contact you. And, again, I appreciate you being on the show. And tell us a little bit about McGraw-Hill. I know you said a little bit about being multi-segmented, but how long have you guys been in existence there?
Sure. The credit union was founded by the employees of McGraw-Hill Companies back in 1935. So you could imagine, during the Great Depression, what things were like in Midtown Manhattan, at the epicenter. So, the organization has grown a very loyal membership base. We are now serving about just under 19,000 members.
Okay.
And have about $275 million in assets. And we pride ourselves on the fact that we continue to invest in products and services and technology to help our membership advance. And if you want to learn more about us as an institution, the best way to find out about us is to go onto our website. It's McGraw-Hill, all one word, McGrawHill.org is our website. And that's, there's a lot of great information out there.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I get that information up on our blog so people can come back and hear it. And also, people also listen to the archive version of the podcast, so that information will be on there, and I'll continue to push it. Again, Sean, thank you for being my guest today. And I understand that you're heading down to the great state of Florida.
That's it. We're planning on visiting your friend over there in Orlando. So
Gotcha.
I'll have my Mickey Mouse ears on, and
you'll be one of those people that I ride by and I laugh and say they got Mickey Mouse ears on. They must be tourists. Not a problem.
Yep.
Well, Sean, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have safe travels.
All right. Thanks, Essie.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, we're going to take a small break. I'm going to wrap it up and give you some pertinent information that you need to know and things I need to know from you. I need your help. We're going to be pushing some things forward. I need your support, so stay tuned.
Hey, this is S.E. Day, your host of the Legally Still Show. The other day I stopped into one of the branches of Growth Financial Federal Credit Union, and they're doing something awesome. They have a big promotion where they're going to be giving away my best-selling book, The Negotiating Experience, Your Car Deal Your Way, to anyone who has opened an account with Grow. If you listen to me, you know that I'm an advocate for credit unions, so make sure you call them, get your copy of the book. Give me a call at the station here at the Tan Talk Network, and I'll make sure I get it autographed for you. Only on the Legally Still Show, where we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet, and with Grow Financial. Hey, Tampa Bay, this is S.C. Day, your host of the Legally Still Show, Tampa Bay's newest and hottest consumer talk radio show. Tune in to us weekly, Saturdays at 3 p.m., where we're going to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet. We'll discuss issues like taxes, finances, home loans, and my favorite, vehicles. Tune in Saturdays, 3 p.m. We'll make sure you get the information you need to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet.
Hey, I'm back. Your host of the Legally Still Show. This is S.C. Day. I thank you for tuning in with me on this Saturday, 3 p.m., as we talk about Bank Transfer Day, one of the hottest things on the market right now. As my producer is kicking me, I took some of them. Okay. Anyway, thank you again for tuning in. We have some great things that are happening. I told you in the first part of the show that this week I'm going to be talking with officials about becoming the spokesperson for the credit union. Now, that's going to be a powerful thing because being that person in that position will allow me to continue to push the credit union movement. And of course, I mean, the whole goal is supporting Grow Financial and making sure that we get members on board here in the Tampa Bay area. But that doesn't mean, I mean, I of course, I have a loyalty to Grow, but I have a bigger loyalty and commitment to the credit union movement. So I want you, and I've been talking about this, Monday morning, if you didn't transfer your money today, transfer it on Monday. Go into a bank and just let them know that, you're not satisfied with them. A little, too little, too late. I can't slap you and then pull my hand back and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. No, I meant to do it. I just don't want you to realize that I meant to do it. So now with them retreating and saying, no, we're not gonna charge the fees. We're gonna back off the fees. The fact that they didn't think enough of you to say from the beginning, no, I value my customers. I am not going to charge them a fee to bank with my institution. Oh, I'm sorry, to use their debit card, something that they've been using the whole time, but now all of a sudden I'm going to charge you a fee for using something that you've been using. I don't think it's fair, and I think it is too little, too late, and I think that you should show the power of your money. Now, you may say to yourself, well, it's just me. I mean, if I move my $10,000, my $500, what does that matter? I'm not going to make a big imprint. What you have to think of is how many more people out there are moving their money. We're talking about 1 million people in the last month decided to make their voices heard. Why do you think banks backed off of the debit card fees? Because so many people started saying, we're not going to stand for this anymore. You have the power. You have the voice that you can change things. It's up to you. But do not think you are alone when you're doing this. They changed it for a reason. Now, I want you to be aware that it's not going to stop. I didn't want to put Sean to the task on this, and I wouldn't ask any official from NCUA or CUNA to do this. I'm a consumer advocate. I can do it. I don't care if you like what I say or not. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to do what I love, and I'm going to do my passion. But I'm challenging the banks to be above board. People, you're going to start seeing increases in other forms. You're going to start seeing it in your checking account. You're going to start seeing it as Vivian called in and was talking about the TD Bank charging for over 6 withdrawals, $9 per withdrawal. You're going to start seeing that more and more. They're going to start charging you an additional fee if you don't have a certain amount of money in your checking account or your savings account. Get ready. It's coming because it has to. They have built their businesses on making money from revenues. Please don't go out and, overdraft your account. You're going to get your head chopped off. They're going to raise fees everywhere that they can, but it's not going to be announced. But you can bet your money. You can bet your money. SE will be looking out for your best interest. And as soon as I hear or see a bank charging additional money, you can bet your money I'll be bringing you that issue. And we'll be reviving this subject and talking about it more and more and more because you need to be aware. You need to be aware. Right now, I'm on the banking industry. That does not preclude me from going to another industry. My job is to bring you information that matters most to your wallet, regardless of what industry it's in, regardless. So that's my mission. I'm going to stay strong to my mission because I believe in what I'm doing. Also, this week I was on television. I didn't even mention that. I was on television. I was actually talking about the car business, which that's something that, it's my passion, but we haven't talked about it lately. We're going to be doing a couple of segments before the year is over on the whole car buying trend and what's happening. The news media wants you to realize or think that there's no money out there. No, people have money, and people are buying. You just have to be able to buy smarter. And, of course, I hadn't said much about it, but, of course, in joining Grow Financial, if you go to our website, you'll see a copy up there. If you go to LegallySteelShow.com, you'll see an icon up there by the magazine cover that says free book. You click on that, it'll take you directly to Grow's website. And it's a no strings attached. Get a copy of the book. I promise you, if you're going to buy a vehicle, get a copy of the book. This will save you thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours of headache. It will give you the inside track of things you need to do and, save yourself time and money. And while you're there, join the credit union. It's simply easy to do. It's real simple. You don't have to walk into the bank. You can actually do it on the internet. You can join, become a member, and do those good things. Listen, next week, we're coming up on Veterans Day. And most of you know that I'm a vet. I'm a Persian Gulf vet. I want you to tune in because we're going to be giving some love back and showing some support for my brothers and sisters who are veterans and for the people who put their lives on the line to make sure that we have the freedoms that we have here in this country. So definitely tune in next week as we bring about those issues because these guys need help. It's sad that we go to fight for our country and then our country, in essence, will turn its back on us because they don't believe some of the things that happen when they put us in harm's way. So definitely tune in next week as we give a big tribute and show some love to our veterans as they are returning home and those who are here, those who need our help. So, and of course, the week after that, we are approaching Black Friday, people. Black Friday. That's that hottest day, the day after Thanksgiving, when everybody wants to go shopping and spend money. And we're going to have a guest on. He is an author and of several novels. When he approached me with it, I didn't really see the connection until he said this. I have interviewed hundreds of con artists, thieves, scam artists, and I want to talk about this message to you so people will know what they can do to protect themselves. Hey, only on the Legally Steel Show, we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet and ways for you to protect your wallet. So stay tuned to next week. I look forward to listening to you again, and we're going to be doing SE's Tips of the Day on Monday, 12 noon. So stay tuned, be safe, enjoy your weekend, and I'll listen to you next week.
Hey, Tampa Bay, this is S.E. Day, your host of the Legally Steel Show, Tampa Bay's newest and hottest consumer talk radio show. Tune in to us weekly, Saturdays at 3 p.m., where we're going to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet. We'll discuss issues like taxes, finances, home loans, and my favorite, vehicles. Tune in Saturdays, 3 p.m. We'll make sure you get the information you need to bring you issues that matter most to your wallet.
And now, your all-star loan lineup from Grove Financial. Leading off, vehicle loans. Batting second, Grove Visa credit card. Third, Grove student loans. And batting cleanup, the big guy, home loans. Holy cow! It's a grand slam from Grove Financial. Just look at those low rates. Apply today at grovefinancial.org. Grove Financial Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration and an equal housing lender.